to get started building our first page, we're going to use an AI called Claude.ai. This is the address, Claude.ai, and we register with any email we have. Here I'm going to show you the whole process. It's relatively easy. There's a box you need to check here, this one right here. We're going to create the account and we'll read through the free plan. Here we're going to skip the desktop app because we're going to use Claude right on their website. And we can leave this on or turn it off. It doesn't make any difference. This option lets them improve their model with our data, so I prefer to disable it. Here, I'm going to enter any name. You can put your name, whatever you like. On this step where it asks you to choose your role, you can put anything you want, or you can just skip it with this. And now, here we are inside Claude, and we're going to open a new chat to build a new page. Here we can choose between the different models, although it's better to leave it on the default one because this is the free version. We don't want to burn through too many tokens on the free version. So here we're going to type, I want to make a web page about Islam in Panama, and I want the page to be about the main mosque in Panama and to include the prayer times and the address of the mosque and the contact number. Okay, this is the prompt, but we need to add one very important instruction. Tell it, give me the code as an HTML file. We'll use the same prompt with Gemini and ChatGPT so you can compare 3 different AI tools. You only need one of them though. Claude by itself is enough. So here we click and it'll start thinking and doing its own work. Meanwhile, we're going to head over to Gemini, and in Gemini, we'll register if it happens to ask us to register. If not, it just lets us in, since we're signed in with a Google account. It didn't ask us to register because we're already signed in with a Google account. Here I'm going to paste the prompt and I'm going to submit it. And on top of that, at the same time, I'm going to do it with ChatGPT to show you how to do it with all 3 different AI tools. So here you can type whatever, it doesn't make a difference. And while it's building this page, here we can watch the progress. They're working. Okay, let's go to ChatGPT. We type this in. Okay, there it goes. Yes, we can click here. I agree that AI can sometimes be wrong. We already know that, and we're going to send this chat. So now we're going to see how Claude is working. We're going to check how Gemini is doing. And Gemini is already finished. Gemini sends me this file, and it's very important that the file ends in the .html extension because that's what web browsers render. So here, I'm going to click on Open, and it shows it to me. It's showing me the code. What am I going to do? I'm going to download it. Where it lands depends on each computer, on which folder it's downloaded to. In my case, it's downloaded to the Downloads folder. If I open it here, for example, I'll go to Downloads. Here we can see that it has just been downloaded. And now there are 2 ways to open this file. I can open it with the browser. There it is. Open in the browser, and the render page has already come up. I can also open this page in a text editor. And if you have a Mac, I don't recommend using text edit because text edit behaves more or less like Word. What we want is a code editor, something more or less like Sublime Text. If you don't have Sublime Text, all you have to do is go into Google and you can type Sublime Text. It works for both Windows and Mac, and you just download it. Once you download and install it, you'll already have the Sublime program. And with Sublime, you can right-click and choose Open Sublime Text. This step is completely optional. It's only to see the code. It's not necessary. But you need to understand that the HTML file can be opened both with a code editor like Sublime, or you can open it with a browser, which is what we're interested in. That way, this page renders for us. Now let's see how Claude's work turned out. Here's Claude's work. We can scroll through it this way and see everything it did. We can also ask Claude for changes. And well, the map didn't render for me because something comes up saying it's blocked. But I'm sure that when I download it, maybe it will be able to show up. Let's go ahead and download it. So I download it as an HTML file, and I'm going to click to open it. And here it opens locally from my computer. Now I can see the complete web page, including the mosque's location. If any information is wrong, or if we want to change something, we can simply ask the AI to fix it. In this example, I want moon icons beside some prayer times and sun icons beside others. I'll close the preview and return to Claude to request those changes. Now here I'm going to tell it, you can put a sun next to the Duhar and Asr prayers, and a moon next to Isha and Maghrib. And if you make a mistake writing the words, it doesn't matter. The AI will still understand it. Because it's able to understand even when a letter is missing, or when you've written something in uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't make any difference to the AI. So now let's see what ChatGPT did. ChatGPT gave us code instead of giving us a file. So what can we do in this case? We can use Sublime again. How do we do it? We copy the code, we go to Sublime, we open Sublime, we open a new file, and we paste it right in. Once we paste it, we save the file. Give it a recognizable name, for example, ChatGPT example.html. The .html extension is extremely important. After saving it, we come back here and find the ChatGPT example file. Then we're going to open it with Chrome so the browser renders the page for us. Look, it used an image there that the others hadn't given us. Now let's see what Claude is doing. It's done. And let's look at the changes. There it is. The moon, the sun. The sun here, the sun there, and again the sun. And the moon, and the sun. So with this, we can make all the different changes that we want by telling the AI the changes we want. And once we're satisfied, we can download the final version with all the changes. And in the next video, I'm going to show you. Let's open it to see how it looks. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to publish this page so that it isn't something that only shows up on your computer, but instead appears publicly worldwide. And so you can share it with anyone. We'll see it in the next. Well, now for the second part of the video, we're going to make this page public to the rest of the world. For that, we can use several services, but in this case, we're going to use a specific one that I've already tried, and that works quite well. It's called Netlify. Netlify. We search for it in Google, and there it comes up, netlify.com. We click, and the first thing we're going to do is register. Here, you can go ahead and accept the cookies. We're going to register and we're going to choose Gmail in this case. I'm going to click accept and continue. Well, once we're inside, we have to fill in the data. Put your name or your last name. In this case, I'm going to put test. Here, I'm going to enter any information that doesn't matter or make a difference. So I'm going to put personal, I'm going to put beginner, and here it also asks for web apps junior. And for where you heard about it, we'll put something here as well. It doesn't really matter. And here, for the project name, we're going to enter mosque since the page is about the mosque. Click Continue to deploy. Once we're on the next screen, go to the section that says Browse Files to upload and click it. This is where we're going to select our page file. Now look for the page we downloaded. In this case, it's the file from the previous video. I select it and click Open. Here, Netlify asks whether I want to rename it, so I'm going to choose Rename and Deploy. Then you'll see the word Uploading followed by 3 dots while the file is transferred. Once this page finishes loading, the site is already live at this URL. Obviously, this isn't the URL we want, and we'll change it in a moment. But if I click this link, you can see that the page is already public. This temporary URL uses a name that Netlify assigned automatically. Now I'll return to Netlify and open Quick Setup. Here in Quick Setup, we can change the name. I'll enter mosque and you can add your initials or use any name you prefer. In my case, I'll add test and click update project name. You must choose a unique name that no other Netlify user already has. On the next screen, we're going to choose finish later. We don't want to choose a custom domain because that costs money. For testing purposes, we're using a free domain provided by Netlify. We also don't want to set up password protection right now. We can leave that for another class. So choose Finish Later. The page now appears at its updated URL. The address is mosquetest.netlify.app. Now the page is public and we can send this URL to anyone or open it on a cell phone. If you want to preview how it looks on a phone from your computer, make the browser window narrow and vertical. If you don't like the result, go back to the AI and ask it to make the changes you want. Then return to Netlify and upload the updated file. Open the same project under Projects, choose the upload option again, and select the revised HTML file. Netlify will refresh the existing public page while keeping the same URL.